easy now. They just park three guys out behind the three-point line and chuck them. Which, once again, it's coming from me. I'm amazed I'm even saying that because that was 90% of my game. But
no, that was 100% of your game.
It was 100% of my game. Because I agree with who was it, George Gervin, who was talking about what Klay Thompson did a couple weeks ago, where he scored 37 points in the first half.
Yeah.
And how he surpassed George Gervin, but George Gervin's like, well, I did it without a three-point line. And he's right. That's what a lot of people forget when they're talking about all the scoring going on and the scoring leaders. And I think that's where you can differentiate between, like a lot of people are saying right now how the comparisons for quarterbacks in the NFL, greatest of all time, it was a different game, a different era. True, it was a different game, a different era in the NBA as well, but the three-point line, where it's an added scoring option, where the NFL, there's always been touchdown, field goal. I know there's a two-point conversion, but no one ever really does that. For me, I can't take a scoring champion serious in the modern NBA because of the three-point line. I mean, you look at what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did, being the leading scorer in history, and it was all twos. He never took, he maybe took a couple threes in his career, but that's amazing in its own right. Yeah, and then you get all these players like Jerry West. Some of his games were amazing. He never had a three-point line.
The three-point line does change the nature of the game because, when the game first started, it was all about getting as close to the basket as possible. And now you're rewarding not doing that by giving an extra point. But it does make
it inflates the rebounding totals and whatnot because more people miss. You're going to have a lower percentage from threes like every team does, and so it's going to increase rebounding statistics, and it changes everything. And it takes away, and I think that's what is partly taking away from having the traditional big man, because now instead of having that presence down low that can change the game, rarely do they even go down low.
But it also,
and if they do, they wait till that person's out of the game.
But it also takes away teams' ability to come back if they get down in a hole.
Not necessarily.
It
just changes your strategy on how you have to make the comeback.
If you can, no, I don't know. It's another option.
You got to think a lot of teams get in the hole because they start chucking from three.
True. You can't deny that.
Yeah. So
there's just so much drama when the 3-point shot goes up because it is worth that extra point. And it sounds silly to talk about it like that, but it just
no. And I agree. I think it is a positive when it's used correctly. But the problem is the NBA has turned it into almost like a joke because so many teams now are just abusing the 3-point line.
Well, and now it's getting coached that if you're going to take a long distance too, you might as well just dribble back another foot and take a three.
Yeah, even though it's a lower percentage.
Right. So the game's evolving and changing, and it'll go through ebbs and flows. And right now, it's not that entertaining of a game to watch.
No, it's not.
It's just
they need to do something because it really has become painful.
It's like it used to be like the Phil Jackson offenses, the triangles that grind it out were the exception, but now every game is just awful. Just you use like 18 seconds out of every shot clock, and it's not always a good shot, and it's hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
All right, we almost had an upset. The Dallas Mavericks outlast the Minnesota Vikings 100-94.
The Vikings.
The Timberwolves. Sorry, football on the brain.
Yes.
The Minnesota Timberwolves. Which, if anybody happens to catch this from the Timberwolves, if you could respond to my request for media credentials for one of my writers, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Anywho, no wonder nobody goes to your games. Anyway, 46% from the floor for the Mavericks, 42% for the T-Wolves, who shot 3 of 13 from behind the arc. So there goes Steve-O's argument right there. But the Mavericks, 10 of 31. 31 threes in a winning cause.
Holy Jesus.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, 23 of 26 from the free throw line. The Mavericks, 12 of 18. The T-Wolves out-rebound, 47-43. Mavericks win the assist battle, 27-18. Looking at individual performances. for the Timberwolves. Kevin Martin, 19 points. Thaddeus Young, 15 points, 9 boards. Nikola Pekovic, 8 points, 10 boards. 14 points for Andrew Wiggins on 4 of 14 shooting in 43 minutes. Boy. Ricky Rubio, 10 points, 4 assists. And Mo Williams, 15 points and 5 assists. For the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, freaking Williams.
And he's still knocking around. 23 points for Monte Ellis, 18 for Chandler Parsons, 16 for Dirk Nowitzki, 10 for J.J. Barea. Also 10 boards for Tyson Chandler.
You know what kind of hat he wears when he goes to Paris? A beret.
That was bad. That was really bad. It was really, really bad.
I'm really tired. Sorry.
I could tell. Anthony Bennett, 4 points in 12 minutes on 4 boards. I'm really trying to think who got the better of that trade for Kevin Love. I know Andrew Wiggins may one day be the next big thing, and Anthony Bennett may be a decent player. I think we can all agree that Anthony Bennett wasn't worth the number 1 overall pick that the Cavaliers used on him.
No. But of all sports, the NBA is a complete and total crapshoot when you're counting about the draft.
Why does Monte Ellis going 6 of 11 from the free throw line shock me?
I don't know.
I think all guards, all scoring guards should be able to shoot free throws. That's kind of where my brain is, I guess.
Yeah, I like to call it the Paul Pierce. Somebody that can shoot a fall-away 3 with 2 people in his face at a high percentage, but then can't make a clutch free throw. There's no bad blood with that, though. No,
not at all. No sour grapes there, my friend.
No, not at all.
None at all. All right, we are running out of time here. So the Memphis Grizzlies ahead of the Phoenix Suns, 81-72, with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. Pretty tight battle here. 25-23 in the first quarter, 24-21 in the second quarter for Memphis. Both teams putting up 28 apiece. Zach Randolph with 14 points, 8 boards. Tony Allen with 10 and 4 as well. Costa Koufos with 11 boards and 2 points. That's what he does. Mark Gasol, 14 points, 5 boards. Mike Conley, 18 points. For the Suns, Goran Dragic, 13 points, 4 boards. Brandon Wright, 11 points and 6 boards. Eric Bledsoe with 17 points, 6 assists. And I got to click on it to make sure I got the right one. Markieff Morris, 14 points. You know, the Suns are an enigma to me. Really thought that they would be better than they are. I like the signing of Isaiah Thomas.
They're still waiting for the second coming of Dan Marley.
We all
shoulder
are,
vein.
We all are, Steve. We all are. In Washington, the Charlotte Hornets beat the Washington Wizards 92-88. You know, we've talked a little bit on this show about the Wizards taking some steps forward and things like that. How do you lose to the Hornets at home? I don't. This is one of those things where we talk about, you know, performances that keep you from taking a team seriously. This is one of those. Washington shoots 41% up from the floor.
Well, that's the thing, is they shot 41% and Charlotte shot 47%.
Yeah, that's what it came down to, because all the other stat categories are pretty even.
Yeah, because, I mean, they took, 79 shots for Charlotte and 81 for Washington, so
they both
just being off numbers, you shoot better, you're going to win.
They both had the same amount of free throw attempts, so it's just.
And I mean, if you look at it, it's crazy. They were pretty even from quarter to quarter. It wasn't. I mean, it was a solid back and forth this entire game. There was never really a standout quarter. I mean, the first quarter, Charlotte was up by 4, and then the second quarter, Washington was up by 2. So Charlotte's up by 2 going into the half, and then they score another 2, and then they had the equal amount of points in the fourth quarter. So this had to have been a fun game to watch.
I'm looking at the ESPN recap, and this is the first I've heard about John Wall having migraine-like headaches that give him an aversion to bright light.
He's going to have to get himself some Horace Grant glasses.
Was that Horace Grant's issue? Migraines?
No, I think he had issues with getting poked in the eye early in his career, so that's why he always wore them.
Sprained right ankle and a migraine that gives you an aversion to bright light. Here, go play in an NBA arena.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, still shot 7 for 7 from the free throw line. So.
We'll excuse the 4 for 14 from the field.
Exactly.
For not being able to see, it's not bad, I guess, when you put it like that.
Yeah, we'll give him that.
And the only other game we haven't talked about yet, the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Toronto Raptors 82-75. And another.
There's a reason we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, yeah, because the Bucks shot 41% and the Raptors shot 32% from the floor.
You said Buck shot.
Dear, I did, didn't I? Oh dear God. Toronto with only 14 assists for the whole game. Oh, this must have been a wonderful game to watch.
Well,
oh,
especially if you look at Milwaukee, when you score 9 points in the fourth quarter and still win the game, what does that tell you about this professional basketball game?
Now I gotta look
a professional basketball game, and they score 9 points in a quarter.
Oh my God, this Bucks shot chart for the fourth quarter is fantastic.
All over the place.
Oh my God, it's like a bad tic-tac-toe game. X's everywhere.
Oh my God.
Dear God. What the heck is going on?
Oh my God. Well, look at Toronto. They only shot 32% from the field.
Yeah, on their home court, too.
That's crazy. Well, and then once again, going back to what we were saying, 25% from the 3-point line, 7 for 27.
Yep. And they came out of the gate slow. They were down 23-14 at the end of one. And then they came out of the half slow. They lost the third quarter, 26-19. So, you got to start chucking eventually.
Yeah.
12 turnovers for Milwaukee, 15 turnovers for the Raptors. Oh, this must have been a lovely game to watch. Dear God. All right.
Good thing we ended strong.
And we got to find a way to schedule those games, the order in which we talk about them a little bit better so that we don't end on such a dud next time.
No, I agree.
All right, when we come back, Jim Saranteas from thefantasygreek.com will join us for the NFL Hour, and we finally get to talk Super Bowl, folks. You're listening to 87 Sports Fans live on Late Night Sports Radio.